Hokey pokey weirdos, I'm Rev, and welcome to my world of cosplay shenaniganery. I've made a cosplay of Fizzarolli from Vivzipop's Helluva Boss, and because this format worked pretty well with Bernard, let's do it again! How about we see how I thrifted this costume from head to toe? Starting at the top, again, we have a hat. However, I'm going to have to jump to the base of this whole costume to be able to properly explain where the pieces for the hat came from. My brother Sable and I went to a thrift store, and Sable is this amazing crazy person who can pick out exactly what I need. I don't know how he does it, but he magically pulled this pink nightgown snuggie situation out of a hot mess of entangled dresses. Perfectly bright pink. Love it, love it. Sable, you are the bestest brother ever. And this bright pink piece ended up being nearly the entirety of the costume. So for the hat, we have that bright pink as well as mint fabric, which are actually bed sheets. I had grabbed these sheets as lining fabric for a different project. That project never happened, so now it is part of Fizzarolli. The light blue fabric I was very glad to find. I got it from Hidden Treasure 2, not a sponsor, but one of my most favorite stores in the entire world, because it is a thrift store full of entirely art supplies. The EVA foam heart in the center I recycled from other projects. The jingle bells on the end of his hat I got from eBay. These are actually vintage, late 50s, early 60s Christmas bells. Holy cow! For the inner structure of the hat, I used upholstery foam that was recycled pieces also from other projects. And the only thing I didn't thrift within this piece was the headband, because I needed a non-slip, easily grippy headband to make sure this thing stayed on my head and I wasn't fighting it during the convention the whole time. For Fan Expo, I did wear a mask, so I got one of those generic toothy smile masks and then sewed a pom-pom that I'd stolen from a pair of my slippers to make that work. Moving on down. The neck ruff is made almost entirely out of EVA foam and upholstery foam that were scraps from other projects. The biggest piece that was not thrifted materials was the pointed collar. This fabric was stretch black velvet. I ended up ordering off of Amazon because it's really hard to find decent quality thrifted velvet. This velvet also ended up being in the hat, allowing it to bounce more. And the bells I attached to it were mostly the dress we already went over, the half snuggie, half nightgown weird thing, and we also talked about the light blue fabric. The other fabric I used was also thrifted from Hidden Treasure 2, and that was the purple sateen that I ended up using the non-shiny side for, because Fizzarolli's purplish blue stripes are a little more blue than the sateen side of the purple was. I also preferred the more matte finish. I cut out those heart shapes and reused some black scrap fabric for the back hearts, and I thrifted a bright yellow t-shirt from the kids section to get enough fabric for the bright yellow hearts on the front bottom part of the dress. And the ruffle cuffs I used for my original Instagram videos, I borrowed from my Mad Hatter cosplay as well as my Harley Quinn costume. The gloves I had to buy brand new, but they were also touchscreen capable, so that was necessary for this convention trip. Let's talk about the tail. The tail is scraps of upholstery foam and leftover wire from making Lucy Lacemaker's tail, and then leftover black spandex from other projects. The red for the tail, I bought a maroon spandex dress from the thrift store. Even used more of that dress for part of Sable's Striker costume, so that was cool. Moving on to the pants, we have the mint colored sheets again, as well as the reverse side of the sateen. And lastly, I have my shoes. Surprisingly, I used a lot of scrap EVA foam for this project. And the shoes I got from a thrift store a long time ago, and I've used them repeatedly for multiple costumes. Just about everything was recycled, because even the thread I managed to find thrifted. There we go! That's the whole thrifted outfit. Stay tuned for the video explaining how I made everything. It is not a tutorial, because on this channel, we embrace the struggle. And now I'm sweating because I'm in my pillow fort. Let me out! I'm dying. Okay.